The notion that science is satanic and deceitful to faithful Christians is a perspective that has been debated and discussed by many individuals. This viewpoint is often rooted in the idea that science and faith are mutually exclusive, and that the pursuit of scientific knowledge is somehow antithetical to Christian values. However, this assumption is based on a full understanding of the relationship between science and faith. First and foremost, it is essential to recognize that science is a method of inquiry, a way of understanding the natural world through observation, experimentation, and evidence-based reasoning. Science is not a philosophy or a worldview, but rather a tool that allows us to gain insight into the workings of the universe. The scientific method is based on empirical evidence, testing, and peer review, and its primary goal is to advance our knowledge and understanding of the world around us. On the other hand, Christianity is a faith-based worldview that is rooted in spiritual and theological principles. Christian doctrine is based on the teachings of the Bible, which provides a framework for understanding the nature of God, humanity, and the world. While science and faith may seem like competing ideologies, they are actually complementary ways of understanding the world. Science can help us understand the how of creation, while faith provides insight into the why of creation. Despite this, some individuals argue that science is satanic because it challenges certain biblical interpretations, such as the literal reading of the book of Genesis. However, this perspective is based on a narrow and dogmatic understanding of the Bible, which neglects the rich diversity of biblical interpretations and the complexities of theological thought. The Bible is a complex and multifaceted text that has been interpreted in many different ways throughout history, and its teachings should not be reduced to a single, literal reading. Moreover, the idea that science is lying to faithful Christians is a misconception that is based on the lack of understanding of the scientific process. Scientific theories such as evolution and climate change are not lies or deceptions, but rather explanations for natural phenomena that are based on empirical evidence and rigorous testing. While scientific theories may be refined or revised over time, they are not intentionally misleading or deceitful. In fact, many scientists or Christians who see their work as a way of glorifying God and understanding the creation. They recognize that science and faith are not mutually exclusive, but rather complementary ways of understanding the world. The pursuit of scientific knowledge can actually deepen our appreciation and reverence for God's creation, rather than undermining it. It is also worth noting that the scientific community is not a monolithic entity that is intent on deceiving or manipulating the public. Scientists are human beings who are driven by desire to understand and explain the world, and they are subject to the same limitations and biases as anyone else. While scientific errors or misinterpretations can occur, they are not evidence of a deliberate attempt to deceive or manipulate the public. In conclusion, the idea that science is satanic and lying to faithful Christians is a misguided and mistaken perspective. Science and faith are not competing ideologies, but rather complementary ways of understanding the world. While science may challenge certain biblical interpretations, it is not a deliberate attempt to undermine Christian values or deceive the faithful. Rather, science is a method of inquiry that can deepen our appreciation and reverence for God's creation, and help us to understand the world in a more nuanced and complex way. By recognizing the complementary nature of science and faith, we can promote a more informed and nuanced understanding of the world, and avoid the kind of polarization and misinformation that can divide us.